All right, good morning. I'm headed right now to Westwood. It's about 10 a.m. By the way, so I told her I was sick the past week. I went to a doctor yesterday. Turns out I had asthmatic bronchitis. And he goes, well, you've had it for about a week. You should have come like a week ago because I could have given you antibiotics, but instead I just powered through it and then did a show on Saturday. Probably made it worse, so that's why my voice is kind of still messed up. Anyways, so right now I'm driving to Westwood. I had a friend stay with me for a day and he's in town, so I thought I'd give him a going away gift. And he's a comedian, so I thought I'd buy him like a nice pen because comics are always writing and stuff. So there's this memo stationery store in Westwood that I'm gonna go check out. Maybe they have something nice. A friend of mine saw this blog. He goes, dude, that vlog's a little bit too real. Like, and I was like, you know what? I thought about it. I remember the days when I would just try to like fake smile and put on a persona. I don't care anymore. That's really what it comes down to. Like, does anybody even like watching people who are inauthentic on camera? I don't. I think it's fake. For me, it comes across as fake. I'd rather just show everything, warts and all, even if my days aren't great. You know, I'll show that too in my vlog, and I'll be honest about it, and I'll tell you why. I think that's more interesting personally for me and the viewer, hopefully. But I'm really not trying to please anybody. I'm just kind of showing you my day, and this is what the days are. This morning, I was reading this article. There's a huge war right now between the agencies, talent agencies, and the writer union, ATA, WGA. It's over these packaging fees. So basically, every time you sell a show, agencies, TV agencies, they can package the show, which means they can put all their talent in the show, and they can take a fee from their production budget, right? It makes them millions of dollars. So the writers don't like this, obviously, because the agents work against their writers because they want to use their own clients, and then they're obviously taking a lot of money, which could go back towards the writers who are... It's fun for me to watch this because I used to work in an agency. I used to work at UTA, which is one of the big 4 agencies in town. And everybody in my mailroom class was trying to get into TV lit. That was like the place to be because obviously TV is like the golden age right now. There's all these Netflix and Amazon and everyone's like streaming and so much money. Like these guys, I remember the board member of like TV lit is like a $9 million house, which is crazy. Like these guys are just minting money. But I can see why the agencies are fighting because they make so much money off these writers. And if they lose their packaging rights, man, there's gonna be a lot of sad agents in Hollywood. But I remember thinking, I was like, oh, maybe I should try to get into packaging and being like a packaging agent because I like TV, I like development. Maybe I could help writers. But then at the end of the day, I was like, well, I think it would kill me if I had to rep writers when I'm a writer myself. And I'd always be thinking, I could do just as good of a job as this guy can, and I'm repping him. So it ultimately didn't happen, and I left the agency world. Now, Sunset Boulevard was actually, this is a very iconic street for people who are not from LA. I'm actually going to pass by the house that Michael Jackson died in, which is crazy because so many huge houses that are just gated by shrubs and bushes. You can't see them because they're not on street view. But it's a lot of history that's gone down on this street. I used to have a show in Westwood with my buddy Adam Hunter. It's a comedy show. So I'm actually headed to Westwood right now, and I don't normally go down there. It's where UCLA is. It's a big school in the U.S. But, you know, I'll go down there occasionally. I know some of the spots. I actually saw Michael Jackson at UCLA. Well, I was working the comedy show, and there was a Halloween shop next door, and Michael Jackson came at like 12 o'clock at night to go to the costume store. It was ridiculous, and we saw him in the alleyway. So, you know, this will be a fun day, because I'm gonna go see my friend for a bit. I'm gonna hopefully go to the gym. We'll see if that pans out, because I haven't worked out in a week. And then I have a show tonight at Flappers in Burbank. And I know my voice is messed up, but who the hell cares? I did a show for 20 minutes or 30 minutes in Lancaster. I can do a show for 5 minutes or whatever it is in Burbank. So, and I don't know, I've been writing every day. I'm really excited about the book stuff. I'm gonna publish my first novel, which it's nothing crazy. It's just, it's a book that I spent a lot of time writing. This is a great story. Well, it's not great, but so I had a girlfriend for about 8 months, and she was great. I have nothing bad to say about her, but man, girls can take up a lot of your time. And I remember I started this book before I started dating her, and then after I started dating her, it didn't work with the book at all. It was just sitting there, like I was on page like 60 or whatever the hell. So after she dumped my ass, I went back to writing my book, and I just cranked it out every single night, and I felt so good to finish it, because I've written a lot of like TV specs, movies, and things like that, but I've written a novel before, and I was like, man, this is probably the worst novel, but I don't even care if it's good or bad. I was like, let me just finish it. And to say that I finished a book, and it's really about my life. I mean, it's about this kid who comes to LA. He's a stand-up comedian, and he becomes this accidental YouTube star, which I wasn't a star, but I was briefly well known on YouTube for a bit. And he gets trapped in this character, and he gets a TV development deal, which happened to me as well. And he worked in Bollywood and hooked up with Bollywood stars, which also happened to me as well. So I tried to, and he got sexually harassed, which also happened. So I put all this like really true things in the book. And I changed a bunch of names, but for the most part, it's based on true events. And I always wanted to, also, the realest thing though is the comedy in New York City. Because I tried to convey all the shit that I went through in New York coming up in that book. Like one of the stories was like there was this club called the Comic Strip in New York City. It's one of the famous clubs in New York. It's on 82nd and 2nd. And I was 23 years old trying to get in this club. And you had to like pass a bunch of bookers to get to the final person. And I finally did that, and I got to this guy, Lucian Hold. It took me like 2 years to get to this guy. And he sits me down in this office. The guy's like lupus, and like he's like dying, which is even more ridiculous. And he goes, Tarun, you're good enough to play. You're like a C-level comedian. I was like, okay, great. I didn't care. I'm gonna just pass me so I can have a place to perform, because I was passing out flyers to get stage time. So he goes, yeah, I would pass you, but I just passed a guy last week, and he's younger than you. He's like a neophyte comedian, and that comedian was Aziz Ansari. So whenever I saw Aziz after that, I was like, F this guy, man, honestly. Because I just got so pissed off that he was on the comic strip. But honestly, his talent had nothing to do with the comic strip. He was just a great comedic actor, in my opinion. So he didn't take anything off my plate. It was just all in my own head. Well, I did it. I got him this space pen. A simple gift. It was like $40 or whatever. But, comics were always losing our pens. I'm always losing my pen, so I've got to record stuff on my phone. So I thought that'd be a cool little gift for him to have. But this guy's gone out of his way to introduce me to his friends and help me out. I feel like in LA especially that's important, because so few people will actually try to help you. Like, you have a lot of acquaintances and friends, but the people that actually will stick their neck out for you, man, that's rare. That's rare. That's why when I tell people that I'll help them, I really do try. I mean, I'm mostly not successful, but remember, every girlfriend that I've had, I've always tried to, if they're an actress, I've always tried to reach out to my friends in the agencies and at least get them repped, because this town is so competitive, and anybody you know that knows someone else, like, use them, leverage them, because, you know, it's you can save a lot of time, especially if you're ready to. I think that's one of the things that bothers me as a artist here, is like, when you're ready and you're like, let me just work. All I want to do is just give me an opportunity to crack it open. Just give me that opportunity. That's all. I mean, most people want. That's all I really want. Give me that opportunity, and I'll show you what I can do. But sometimes people don't get it. People don't get that opportunity, and that was a fear of mine for a long time. Like, oh, maybe this might not happen. In fact, today I was meditating, and I was like, again, I've mentioned this before, but like, okay, it's okay if I don't get that opportunity. If this is what it is, if I can be a good person and survive and live happy, which that's the whole other case on its own, then my life will be okay. But it doesn't have to be entirely copacetic. There can be some travail, and I'm okay with that. Anyways, I'm excited to give him this. I like getting gifts. If anyone wants to give me a gift, let me know. I'll send you my address. At the gym, made it out here first time in a week. Kept it super light. Ran about 3 miles, that's it. Working out's like the one constant that I've been able to maintain consistently. Definitely suggest to anybody who's wants to be active and hasn't scared to join a gym, let's go do it. Nobody cares, there's no judgments, and it'll just clear up everything, because you're forced to be present when you're just pushing yourself. I'm not in the gym rat. I mean, I'll go to the gym like 2-3 times a week, and I'll do like my jiu-jitsu stuff on the side, but like, just running 3 miles and just going all out and getting a good sweat, it can do wonders. So I'm glad I got this in before my show tonight. All right, a couple push-ups, and I'm out of here. All right, just got my coffee. I feel pretty good. It's like 4:30-ish. Voice is still kind of messed up, but that's okay. Got a show at Flappers tonight. I'm excited about that. I don't know. It's one of those days. Oh, I went to Soup Plantation with my friend Nick, who, I'm going to start vlogging when I see Nick, so you guys can meet this guy. I met him at the Ice House years ago, and he's in town just visiting. He's in my hot tub. But, I don't know, it's one of those days where just try to enjoy the moments, right? Because life goes by very quick, and friendships come and go. All right, like I said, I'm going to show you my friend Nick, who I've been talking about. There he is.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
He actually lives in a jacuzzi. He's not allowed to leave that jacuzzi. But I've known Nick for, I don't know, how long, Nick? 15 years?
At least, probably 20, no, at least 20.
Yeah, 20. So Nick used to ask me for advice when I was a comedian. No,
Yeah, I used to like to take advice from someone who didn't know anything about it, so that way I got the worst advice I could ever get, and I just did the opposite of what he told me to do. And it worked out. I was living in a jacuzzi, for God's sakes.
No, he's a big headliner out of Chicago, and he was living in LA, one of those guys who did a lot of TV, acting, guest stars, and was just like, F this business. And it's moved out and does really well in Chicago. So he's in town doing some meetings and whatever, and just live in my jacuzzi now, so it's been good. And he's the guy that I got the gift for this morning, so he doesn't write any jokes, so unfortunately he can't use the pen. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways. Tune in next week when we'll see who the guest is in the jacuzzi.
It's actually a great show.
Yeah, right.
Like interview guests in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a show at Flappers in like 2 hours. So we're gonna head up there. So I'll turn it on. I'll start vlogging when I hit the club. All right, outside Flappers Comedy Club. There it is. I'm gonna do 5 minutes in the Yoo-Hoo room. So this is good. This is good. I just saw Whitney Cummings go up. She's this girl works her ass off. She's always up trying out jokes. So I wrote last night, wrote the day before, got some new jokes to tell. I'm excited to work it out and see how maybe like 2 out of like 10 jokes work for me. That's the ratio. So I gotta put out a lot of comedy before I find something that really hits. So I'm excited. All right, that was a good show. Got some new jokes in. The Yoo-Hoo room's really solid. It's like maybe like 10, 15 people in the room, but I felt like it was productive. And again, for me, it's like you gotta have a game plan when you stand up. If you're not going out there with an agenda, you're wasting your time. I see a lot of comedians, they go up and they just kind of like talk and ramble. And for me, it's like you're wasting your time. Like, why are you on that stage? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? So, I mean, I know I'm like a work in progress, but I'm always trying to get 1% better. That's my MO with everything I do. All right. All right, so Nick and I came to Tommy's. I've never been here before, but Nick lived in this town for like 100 years, so he said this place is good. So I'm pretty excited. Nick, you ready? Look at this.
Yes, I'm ready for
It's got
chili
food.
dog. So excited.
I was just
Look
sick
at
for like
that.
a week,
Isn't
and he brings me to
beautiful?
this outdoor eatery, doing full well that I was just sick. It's okay though, I forgive him.
Beautiful cafe.
But this is what LA's all about, right? Enjoying
in France.
enjoying the scenery. Yeah. So what would you say? Get friends?
It's like being in France.
Oh, being in France.
Eating outside.
Anyways, we're gonna eat some food. Hey everyone, Bobby Khan here. Just here at the Donut Hut with Darren Carter, Nick Geza.
Yes.
It's one of the rocking places here. Donut Hut. Yeah! 2:17 a.m. This night got away from me. I was editing, trying to put this vlog together. I've kind of, I look like shit. And then I redid my jokes. This is my set list. Tried to just get on this. I sort of got like kind of down after that set today. I was thinking, I was like, I love my friends, but like, I'm on this path of like, I could easily slip into obscurity, you know? Like, I'm really not past any of the major clubs. And, you know, I think Darren knows, like, I don't even want to, like, hang out at these clubs because I feel like it's just pointless. And I was like, well, you know, like, the ROI in stand-up is so small. You put so much time into, like, these jokes and performing, and then you hope you gotta break through somehow. And I was like, damn, I've spent so much time trying to break through, like, I don't know if I even enjoy the journey sometimes. I'm just doing it. And then I got pissed off. Not pissed off, but I saw Whitney Cummings there, and, you know, I used to talk to that girl all the time, and, like, she was like, hi, and she, like, walked away. Like, I don't think she remembered my name. I was like, well, you know, and that kind of irritated me, because I felt like, you know, again, she seems like a sweet person, but I definitely was like, well, this thing in Hollywood where you just keep moving forward, where you don't really, I mean, that was me, I would have been like, hey, how are you? You know, what have you been up to? Blah, 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 but she didn't really give a shit. Can't really blame her too much. So, anyway, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm probably just delirious, but, you know, I did the work. I'm trying to just keep working hard. This is what I do. I'm like a crazy person writing out my set list at like 2 o'clock in the morning with the Unabomber. Just, I'm gonna send it to the New York Times. You have to publish this, or I'll write 50 more jokes. Anyways, so I thought it was a great day overall. Let's focus on the positive. I thought it was a great day. I got to see my friend Nick. Got to see my two best friends, Nick, Darren. Got to have a great set of flappers. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm feeling better. I'm almost healthy, knock on wood. And, grateful and thankful for this day. Good night.